Welcome back everybody. So this is gonna be a quick update video for you guys on stock market, and before we get started, please smash that like button, and 100 plus likes on this video would be greatly appreciated guys. And if you're new here, consider subscribing. Now if you want to get my daily trade ideas, swing trade ideas, live trading, and you want to support the channel, definitely check out their link down below in the description for Patreon. All right, so let's talk about the market. We got Dow Jones going down 1.55%, Nasdaq going down 0.35%, S&P going down 1.22%, and Russell going down just over 1%. Here's 11 sectors that makes up S&P 500 on top, leading the way. Well, we got a bit of a bounce in the technology sector right here, but everything else, especially financial, you can see down 3%, industrials down, consumer defensive down, consumer cyclical down, a big sell-off here on Tesla and Amazon. You got utilities also down on the day. Stock market map, what we got here, guys? Well, if you look at my screen, especially right here, financial took a big hit today. JPM down near 4%. You can see BRK also down about 3%. But look at Google here. Despite the sell-off early morning, recovered up over 2%. Meta down 2.30%. We got big names like Walmart going down almost 3%. Tesla down over 4%. Amazon down 0.5%. Apple was green pretty much right after opening, and then Apple actually gave up all the gains and now down near 1%. Microsoft staying alive and staying in the green, but nothing big, flat day. Nvidia going down over 4%, and then again, Nvidia is the big dog. You can see right here, recovered all the losses and now up 1.69%. Now, especially people that are serious about trading, guys, here's my trades from today, and you can see, I mean, if you guys are serious about trading, especially, big shout out to N1. This guy has been with me for maybe about 3.5 years now, and just continues to buy annual membership and just throwing out of the park, huge, and everybody else that actually took these calls, especially the ones I called out today. You can see right here on SPY and IWM 210 calls pretty much going in the money same day. We took profit on that huge play. And then also on SPY trade, that was another one. And then some of these swing trade also we took profit. You can see right here. We got into Intel today. We took profit, and then we also took profit on Netflix. So all these trade ideas, and especially if you guys are serious about trading, definitely check out my link down below in the description for Patreon. On SPY ETF, it's down just over 1%. And let's talk about how the market is going all over the place, and especially with Trump tweeting and news coming out of White House that we got tariffs, and then we are pausing, then we have tariffs, and then we have more tariffs, and market just going back and forth. And that's a really good setup, especially people that have experience here in this market. They can make a ton of money shorting and even buying the dip. You guys saw that, buying that dip. I mean, definitely, I'm not gonna short this, especially when SPY is sitting at 572 and the lower Bollinger Band sitting at 581 almost. I'm not going to short this. We bought the dip and this thing paid. I also bought a lot of other dips on Broadcom, even Nvidia, and everything paid today, especially calls. I actually had no puts besides those swings you guys saw on Intel and Netflix. Now, what is next right here on SPY ETF? We do have some, data coming out. I think non-farm payroll on Friday, and Jay Powell also speaks. And I don't think he matters anymore because of Trump, because that's the guy who's moving the market. That's the guy who's moving the crypto market, and pretty much market is all over the place. But it's a great opportunity if you know exactly what you're doing in the market, and you can nail the bottom or the top. You can make a lot of money. I mean, today was a huge move. You can see 572 to 585. We caught that move, huge move to the upside, and then market sold off again because we came close to the resistance right here. Market sold off, and there was some news also with Taiwan, more tariffs, and then now news came out again, and market is up 0.5% after closing. So yes, we did undercut this level right here, 574. We came back up. It was really oversold. Now, is the market going into a bear market? That's the question. And I don't think that's the case yet, but that might be the case. We just need another week of confirmation, which is going to be next week. So going into tomorrow's session, 574, your key line in the sand, and below that we might be dropping down to 568 to 565. To the upside, resistance will be at 580. Over that, 585, 586, and then we can talk about possibly going up to 588 to 590. On triple Q, it's down 0.30%. So things were looking really bad for Qs. And you can see 487. And if you're not buying these dips, especially for at least a day trade, I mean, I don't know what to tell you guys. Yes, things might look a bit scary when things are pulling back, like, oh, this is the crash. But trust me when I say this, I've been seeing these pullbacks for last, 25 plus years. So if there is a pullback, it's okay. If you're not buying, don't short it, especially into the hole, because you're going to lose money. And you can see it came down right here, closing this gap finally from that election right here, 492, and we closed over that level. So now your line in the sand will be right down here, guys. That gap 492, which can act as a support, and you can see multiple rejection there as well. So that's going to be a key level to watch. And now that is holding at 495. Going into tomorrow's session, if we can get over 500, it might push up to 503. And from there, we can talk about possibly up to 507 to 510. But to the downside, if this thing does not hold here, then definitely there might be more downside where this thing can actually come down way more, all the way down to 483 to even 478. On IWM, it's down over 1%, and this was fantastic opportunity today here on IWM. We cashed in big time right here, buying at 204. It dropped tiny bit after that and then recovered all the way back up to 209, 210. And now trading and retracing lower Bollinger Band, holding over 206. So this is going to be your key line in the sand right here, 206. If this thing gives up that, it might drop down to 200, 198. But if there is a bounce, watch out for the resistance at 210. Over that, this thing can push up to 215 to 218. On Dow Jones, it's down 1.5%. So Dow Jones also came down, closing this entire gap at 425, and we did find support. There was a big bounce back up to the upside, but at the end faded and came back, and now trading near 427, 428. So going into tomorrow's session, if this thing cannot hold over 423, watch out, there might be another big drop down to 416. As long as it's over 423, we might see a push back up to 433, and over that, even 436 possible right here on Dow Jones. On VIX, it's up 3%, but it was up way, way more. And this is where I even called it. I don't want to show you guys everything and take a lot of your time. That VIX might be topping here, especially on my Patreon group. And we need to buy all those dips. And it did top out here at 26 and then came down all the way down to almost 22. And now it's sitting at 23, holding 23 as a support. So you can see huge rejection at 26. Yes, it's in an uptrend. It's in, pretty much a bull market here. You can see VIX. And if this thing can stay over, oh, it's a key level, guys. Key level. 20 bucks. This thing remains elevated over 20. Stay cautious here in this market. You can buy them dips, but be careful as long as this thing is over 20. So going into tomorrow's session, 23 will be support, and then all the way down here, 21, 23, 21.23. 5-day moving average, and then 20 bucks all the way down to 18. As long as it's over 23, it can push back up to 26 and possibly up to 28 to even 30. On TLT, it's down 1.23%. So this thing actually got up to a new high. If you look at this candle, we got over this previous candle and then sold off at the end. So is this telling us there might be some room here in the market where we could see a bounce and this thing pulls back down to this gap 90 to 89? That can happen. But if this thing remains here, especially over 91, then it can push up to 94. So keep an eye on that. Now, what is happening with the dollar? Dollar was down almost 1%, huge bearish engulfing candle, and it's not looking good. And you can see we broke this critical level here, 106.43, and now it can go down even more unless we get that bounce early as this week. Now, what is happening with 10-year yield here? Let's have a look. Well, we got a bullish engulfing candle and it pressed higher over 4.17. So if this thing's staying over that level, it might push a little bit higher up to 4.32, and who knows, maybe even 4.46. So keep an eye on all this, and I'll definitely keep you guys updated going into tomorrow's session tomorrow night.